What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the PHDJ podcast. There we are, side by side. My man, Mike Walter, all the way in New Jersey. And
what's going on, Joe? How are you?
It's your boy, Joe Bunn, all the way down here in hot-ass North Carolina.
Is it? Yeah.
Woo! Scorcher. Yeah. Every day. Every day in July and August is steamy.
And humidity, too, right?
Oh, my God, bro.
Yeah.
Just wet. You just walk out of the house just wet.
I was out yesterday. A friend of mine, a DJ friend of mine, John De Palma, he took me kayaking and
saw that.
Clamming.
I saw
Dude,
that.
I've never gone clamming before.
I don't know
amazing.
that I have.
you just you dig in the mud and the sand, and you pull these freaking clams. I came on with 156 clams
With your hands?
Just
or with like a little
there's sometimes they're sitting in the mud, so you basically walk through the mud and you can feel it underfoot.
Sure.
And sometimes in the sand, he had these like
rake things,
rakes.
And
you just rake along and you hear it like, and you go, and there it is. And 9 times out of 10, it's a clam. Sometimes it's a rock or just an empty shell. But man, we were plucking them out nonstop. It was incredible. But talk about hot. I mean, we didn't have a humid day, but we had a sunny day.
Yeah.
And I was covering up. You know, I know you're the big one with I was covering up nonstop, but I can feel it a little.
Yeah.
A little.
Man, what's crazy is no gyms are open here still, and so this class I've been doing is outside only. Oh my God! I mean, I should get up and go at 7.
Is that a spin thing?
No, it's an actual like interval training class.
So you were outside under the sun or under a tent?
Man, yesterday, I don't know what he was thinking. It was a little bit overcast, and then like a quarter into the workout, the sun opens up and we're on a basketball court. Dude, I almost just quit. Yeah, normally it's in the corner of a baseball field. It's got pine trees shading.
So you got some shade.
Yeah, and it's I mean, it's still hot and humid, but yesterday, I don't know what I literally was like, bro, don't do that again. Like that's
like I'm not running as much as I usually do, but when I run in the summer, you have to temper your times. Like you just can't have the same time that you did back in May when it was 50 degrees.
Yeah.
You can't expect it, you know. Yeah.
Well,
hey, look, I know you have a topic, but I want to start with an apology to the listeners.
Okay.
I know you pointed this out. Somebody pointed it out to you 2 weeks ago. I did a shit job of editing that podcast. That was the one you and I recorded late on a Monday night. I forget when I even did the editing on my part, but I usually do a better job of balancing our voices. And I went back and listened, and I did a bad job. You were way low. I was way high. The music was way low. So my apologies. Episode, I think it was 182.
Something like that.
Dude, isn't that amazing? I mean, think about it.
We're still doing it.
We're doing 184 right now.
And we're still friends.
So yeah, my apologies. I will do better in the future.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you even doing the edits because that's not my strong suit. But
3.5 years, if I fuck one up every once in a while.
Exactly. I can live with it. Sidebar, if you're not a member of the PHDJ podcast discussion group, we've been having a lot of people adding lately. So make sure you get in on that. In fact, the very topic that we're pulling from today to talk about comes from that PHDJ podcast discussion group. So make sure you join that. So speaking of Mike, let's talk a little bit about, so we're recording this on July 15th, obviously in the COVID era still, 2020, the worst year ever. I would officially...
Joe, it's funny that you say that. So, and we often say that when we're going to talk about something topical because we think in the future...
Yeah, right.
People will be listening to this. So isn't it heartwarming to think like sometime in the future, DJs will find this podcast.
Yeah.
And when I say future, I mean when we're back to normal.
Sure.
And they'll be like, oh yeah, that was recorded during the summer of 2020 when nobody could do gigs. And so, yeah, I never even thought about that. But thank you for planting that seed with me. That there will be a future. Right. There will be a future Joe and a future Mike who will look back on 2020 and go, God, that was the worst year ever. But I'm so glad we're past it.
We made it. We made it.
Yeah.
Well, one of the ways that we have made it, or from a mental standpoint and from a marketing standpoint, is live streaming. And live streaming, literally, I feel like the very first weekend of quarantine, I mean, it was almost instantaneous that DJs took to the airwaves, if you will. And people like D Nice, I mean, was one of the first people that really blew up, to where he had 100,000 people on, Michelle Obama's in the stream. Like, it's just, it really took off.
And were those on Facebook early on?
They were on Instagram Live. Yeah, he was on Instagram Live.
Okay.
Right.
And so I haven't tried that platform. Are they as diligent? So do you know the answer to this question? Are they as, I mean, they're owned by Facebook, so I can't imagine that they wouldn't be, but
I was about to say they're owned by Facebook. So I feel like the police are still watching.
I would feel like whatever algorithm Facebook uses, Instagram probably uses too. So we have, when we were doing the vault things every Friday night for months, I mean, we almost did 3 months. I think every week we were on Twitch. Maybe the first month we were broadcasting to both, but we wouldn't be 15 minutes into the Facebook broadcast. Shut down.
Yeah, shut down. And then we would, try and push everybody to Twitch. And finally, I just told Dominic, I'm like, man, just if they're not going to come to Twitch, then they're not going to see this. You know what I mean? Like, don't even bother, because, I'm pretty sure that Dawson High literally got his account banned on Facebook for, kept restarting.
I still can't post videos to Facebook. I can post, but when I try to upload a video, and I'm not talking about even music, like I took video of Donovan running around the other day, my dog, and I could upload it to Instagram, but then trying to upload it to video, and it says temporarily, you have been temporarily blocked from posting video. But that temporary has been 3 months.
Oh, so damn.
I don't know when it's gonna get lifted.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never heard that story. Yeah. And it was from trying to stream?
I assume. I mean, what else? I haven't posted,
Well,
I don't know.
Yikes. Well,
so we don't even attempt to, we do the same thing. We promote Twitch and just try to send people there. Well,
so let's start, Mike, just because I'm kind of the host today, and talk a little bit about, and I actually mentioned this in that webinar I did last week, and brought a picture of yours up, one of your graphics that y'all created in-house there of the quadrant, and I basically was making a point of how important it was to keep marketing during this time. Like, people are still looking for a DJ, people are still going to get married hopefully next year. And the marketing.
I'm going to edit the word "hopefully" out of this, because yes, people are getting married. I think people are getting married at the end of this year. So definitely. Come on, Joe.
I think I'm making a video tomorrow about that.
Don't give up.
I'm not. The video is going to be positive, but I think people need a bit of a.
It sounds real positive.
A mind switch. Anyway, if people are getting married next year, we get checks every day. Mike's getting checks every day. People are still booking, but as a showcase producer, Mike does what? Once a quarter, twice a year, Mike, before the world ended, y'all did a showcase, right?
Well, we did private shows.
That's what I mean.
A quarter, but we would also do about 20 bridal shows a year, where we showcase, not just a booth in a room,
right.
But that's 20 showcases where we did kind of our miniature version of our showcase. The private showcases are the longer. And P.S., I know we've done a show about this, so if you're interested in getting more information, just scroll back through the 180 plus episodes and you'll find the topic. But so those are the numbers of showcases, and those have been put on hold. So that's one of the ways we're looking at Livestream is to replace that.
So, and that's what I was telling people. I'm like, look, Mike did these showcases, whether they were at a wedding show and they allowed them to be the showcased DJ, or at a private venue that Mike rented out and invited potential clients and said, look, here's Dominic, here's Mike, here's so-and-so. And he took to live streaming instead. And Mike, I mean, just kind of share your experience with people about, you're blanketing it out on Facebook. Are you guys also doing like a mass email to tell people to show up? Are you sending it to a client list?
We're not only doing a mass email to leads, anyone that's approached us in the last couple of months, so you'd call it a warm lead or whatever. But we've developed email lists for specific DJs. So all of my couples from the last, I think we went back 5 years, all of Dominic's couples for the last 5 years, all of Tom's couples. And so when one of us is about to go live, so for example, if we had a typical Thursday night where I'm spinning at 5, Dominic's at 6, Tommy's at 7, at like 4:30, the email will go out just to my clients. Hey, you enjoyed Mike back, he's going live at 5:00. And then at 5:30, the email would go out to Dominic's clients. Hey, we know you love Dominic from your wedding. If you want to check him out, tune into our Twitch channel starting in a half hour. Same thing with Tom. Same thing with any of our DJs. Obviously, some of the newer ones, that email list is a little bit limited, but we figured let's target, and we really got that idea because there were a few past brides of ours who approached us, emailed us and said, hey, just want to let you know Dominic did our wedding 3 years ago. We've been watching him on Twitch, and we love it. We watch him during dinner and we get to relive our wedding and flashback. So that kind of planted the seed in our mind. Hey, why not stay top of mind with these past brides? And any marketing person will tell you, we spend so much time marketing to new people, and yet so often we neglect the old people, and they're the ones that are going to promote us. They're the word of mouth people. So you want to stay top of mind with those people. So those are the emails that we send out.
So it does go out to future clients as well and leads?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but with future clients, it's more like, I think like on Thursday has become our night. Thursdays with the meeting.
Yeah.
So I think about noon on Thursday, we send out to those future leads and say, tune in tonight. Here's tonight's schedule. Mike's at 5, Dom's at 6, blah, blah, blah.
And you're going to keep doing that?
We are. I've taken the next 2 weeks off. So if you want to check out Thursdays with Elite starting, this is going to drop tomorrow. So I guess, starting later that day. Our Twitch channel is Elite Entertainment NJ. So it's twitch.tv/. So sign up there and you'll get a notification for when we go live. I think tomorrow might just be Dominic. Kelly and I are away this weekend, and then I've got plans next Thursday. So I'm going to take at least 2 weeks off here. But man, I was loving it. I was doing every Thursday for an hour, picking a different theme, picking a different topic. I did the 90s for a couple of weeks. I don't know if you saw those photos.
Yeah, the graphics are great.
I have my office manager, Lynn, is so good with Photoshop.
Yeah.
So for the 90s, the first week I had her put my face on Vanilla Ice's body.
When he wore that leather American
ridiculous
flag
leather,
jacket.
yeah. And then the next week she put me on Kurt Cobain, that famous image from his
Unplugged.
Which, by the way, she reversed it because I had the shadow on. I gave her a picture of me, but the shadow was on the wrong side. So she reversed him and made him right-handed.
Oh my God.
Which I am anyway, holding.
Yeah.
And one person, now other people might have noticed and not commented. Yeah. But one of my friends said, hey, that's wrong because Cobain was a lefty. And I was like, wow, that you are observant, my friend. That's you get
I did know he was left-handed. Yeah. I think he even, it might have been him that played right-handed guitars but strung them, backwards.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there have been some guys who have done that. But yeah, so that's the way we've been promoting it. And listen, I don't want to say it's brought us hundreds of gigs.
No, right.
But we've gotten mentions from clients.
Sure.
And that's all you can ask for during this time.
It's funny, man. Mine was almost not marketing related. I mean, I would say that 99% of the people watching were DJs. But it was almost more like a therapeutic or communal.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And
not just therapeutic, it has kept us both sharp in our game.
True.
When I did those 2 weddings a month ago, I wasn't blowing dust off my gear.
Right.
And going, oh shit, I got to remember how to beat it. I haven't done this in 3 months. I hope it comes back to me. It's a way to force yourself to stay sharp.
Yep. I agree with that too, man. And
I agree. There probably, I don't know, 99%, but probably the majority of people tuning into our live streams are other DJs.
Sure.
Which goes back to the point, you better stay sharp because if you're going to, what you're saying, sneakers in a, if you're going to throw a clunker out there, the last way don't we all get nervous when there's a DJ at a wedding?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, Joe, if you were a guest at a wedding I was doing, the nerves would be ratcheted up a little bit. You'd want to make, so when you look and see, there's Jason Janai is tuned into my podcast or my live stream.
Right.
I better make sure I'm on my game.
Right. Right. Yeah. I agree with that 100%, man. It makes you better, really, all the way around. And so, we used it a little bit different. And as some states started reopening, our numbers kind of started to fall off. And so we're taking a break from it for a while, but I think we'll definitely come back and do some special episodes. I had some great DJs on. We usually did about 3 or 4 every Friday night. So we'll definitely come back around and do that again. But Mike, let's kind of touch on, people that are getting into it, I don't want to say late. I mean, you're still at the top of the, where this could go. But, I'm not even sure. Mike and I are both, pitching Twitch and talking about Twitch. I mean, it's clearly stated in the rules on Twitch, if you actually go into the fine print, that you're not supposed to be broadcasting DJ mixes there. So right. I think it's a matter of time before we get pulled. I feel like the only truly legal way to do it right now is on Mixcloud, which is kind of still in beta.
I was going to ask, so they're still in beta. I haven't attempted a Mixcloud live yet. I plan on doing it sometime in the future, but whenever I hear beta, I think to myself, that doesn't
I'm not ready. Right. Yeah, it's not ready, and I'm not ready. Right. I'm kind of the same, Mike. I'm not sure. I actually had on one of the webinars on the Vault, the CEO of Mixcloud from England. He came on, and he was super excited about it, and you could tell that whatever staff they have there, which probably isn't hundreds of people or thousands of people like a Facebook or an Instagram, it's probably a dozen, if that. We're working hard on it, but they're kind of rushing to catch up at this point. So,
by the way, you kind of just glossed over what you just said.
Yeah.
If we have any non-Vault members on this, listening to this podcast, listen to what Joe just said. He had the CEO from Mixcloud on an interview for not for everybody, but specifically for Vault members. So that's and Joe doesn't give me any money to help him promote the DJ's Vault. So I'm just saying this because I think it's a great resource for everybody in our industry. Join the Vault. Just join it for one. If you're not, join it for 1 month and see if you don't get value out of it. I guarantee the only people not getting value out of the Vault are people
that don't
like
log
a gym
in.
membership. If you're not trying, then you're not getting value. But if you're actually thinking about bettering yourself in this industry, you will get dollar for dollar way more than you're paying at the Vault. Sorry,
thanks,
just
Mike.
A little tangent
Mike.
For you.
Little plug there. But. So I guess some do's and don'ts real quick before we kind of move into the end of this thing. I would say in terms of do's, because it's burned me now twice. I tried to go to the beach and do it one weekend, and the internet was just not popping at the beach. So make sure whatever you have, the best that you can get internet wise. So if you have to pay the $20 more a month to Comcast or whoever is your provider, pay that.
No doubt.
It run a speed test. It's speedtest.net. I always try and do that before I go live. And if you can get to the router, hardwire your computer to your router. I don't care if you have the brand newest laptop, and of course it doesn't have an Ethernet jack on it. There is an adapter that comes out of the side of the new MacBook that goes to an Ethernet cable. If you can hardwire, please hardwire, because
and if you are doing it from home, just ask everybody for that hour or two, whatever you're doing. Hour really is a sweet spot. Don't do more than an hour.
No,
just ask everybody in the house can you please not stream a movie during this hour, or download something.
I almost forgot that one, but it is.
I
really
have that agreement with Kelly when I'm home and I'm live streaming. Hey, babe, can you stay off the internet for an hour? Can you not stream Amazon for that hour? And it's fine. So understand that internet is basically a valve, and if more people who are in the house are using it, the less you get. So
it's trying to suck a golf ball.
I even shut my phone off.
I did too.
Or put my take the Wi-Fi off my phone for that hour. So
me too, man. Because it's still pulling Wi-Fi. Yep. Like it's basically, if everybody in your house is on Fortnite and streaming movies and you're live streaming, it is like trying to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Period.
There you go. And I know no, I'm not going to.
Oh no, I knew that was.
Yes. So that no doubt. Also, don't just set up a camera like your phone across the room and shoot, because the audio quality of that sucks. Garbage. And it's going to make you look horrible. So use OBS, use a separate computer and some kind of I was lucky enough. Wasn't able to buy the equipment early on, but the thing that I got from you to do these, that same box is what I use. So basically, it goes back and forth from this desk to over there when I live stream, and it just makes the audio quality so much better.
It's a Focusrite 2i. It's called a Scarlett 2i2. If you're wanting to know what Mike's talking about, right. So definitely do that. Ecamm is good as well. If you have any kind of DSLR cameras, the Ecamm will literally, if you plug it right into the side, will pick up that camera, so you could have one or two cameras, a much better camera than obviously the one coming off your Serato computer. I mean, there's so many tips that we can give, but I would say the main ones are a clean feed and good internet connection, because those are the two reasons that, and obviously be good, play good music, but those are the main reasons that people are going to tune out, guys. Like, if anytime we've ever had a bad internet connection, I can sit there and watch the numbers go. Right. Even the other night.
And the same thing with bad audio. There's plenty of people that I see that I get notifications. Oh, they've gone live. Let me check them out. And if the audio is horrible, I'm not going to, I want to sit there and listen. I'm probably not even going to watch half the time. But if it's not worth listening to, then why am I going to keep it on?
Well, especially as DJs and DJs watching, the first thing they're going to do is either put it on their like Sonos or soundbar or a better speaker, or watch it on their TV at their house, which is probably hooked up to some sort of sound. Like, that's the first thing I do is like, I want to hear this better than what's coming out of the millimeter speakers on this phone. So know that you're going to be amplified and you need to sound better. Like that was a prerequisite when I brought DJs on. I'm like, have you streamed before? Do you have clean audio?
What's your quality going to be? Yeah. So I would add a couple things to that. First of all, I would recommend picking a theme, because I think people tune in when they know the theme of the hour. So whether it's, today's pop hits, today's hip hop, like I said, I've done 70s, I've done 80s, I've done 90s, I've done sing-along stuff. Tom Monaco just did a freestyle hour the other day, but I think that's where you get people interested to tune in, not just like Joe Bunn spinning. All right, well, what's he going to play? You know what I mean? I think giving people a little bit of a direction of where you're going helps. And I would also say I prefer to get text message requests. I know on Twitch and on a bunch of these channels there is a comment section, but what I've been doing is I put a graphic on the bottom of my screen that says, and it's if I want to take requests. Sometimes like last week I did a set of what I call classic closers. So songs I end the night with. I didn't invite requests there because I put a specific crate together and I knew what I wanted to hit and I knew what I wanted to. I did 90 minutes and I knew how I wanted to squeeze together. But when I was doing 80s night or 90s night, I was inviting requests. I prefer that because then what I can do is the next day, I can text all those people back and say, hey, thanks for tuning in last night. Nice. Hope you heard your request. Stay tuned next week, blah, blah, blah. So I do like that way of
Is that your cell?
Requests.
Is that your cell, Mike?
Well, we use a service called ZipWhip.
Right.
Yep. Which basically has turned our office number 732-935-7500 into a you can text from it and receive text from it. So that's what I'm using. But I would have no problem personally giving out my cell phone. I don't think, what's the worst thing? If you get some asshole who now has you, so then you block them. I mean, like what? What if that's the worst thing that's going to happen? If some jerk off has your cell phone and then it's blowing you up. Hey, you suck as a DJ. So just block the guy. You know what I mean? Or block the person. So yeah, I mean, I know some people don't want to give out their personal cell. In which case, I think there's a service that Google has, which basically can mirror your phone into another. So do that. But I personally like that. And then also I don't have to monitor the screen. I can just have my cell phone next to me while I'm mixing. And, I also like to MC a little bit. I know some guys don't even have a microphone turn, but I like to. I mean, if I'm just like at a gig, if I'm going to play a request, I'll go, hey, I just got a request from Susan. Susan, this one's for you. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I mean?
Are you just one camera, Mike? If I'm not mistaken.
I do a 2-camera with OBS, and Tommy got me the plug-in, the OBS automatic scene changer. Oh, cool. I think that's what it's called. So I can rotate. So basically I've set it up where it's like my main camera's on for 30 seconds. Then it goes to the Elite Entertainment logo for 10 seconds. Then it goes to that second camera for 30 seconds. And then usually what I do is some other kind of graphics So like when I was doing the 90s night for a couple of weeks, I had just created a whole bunch of graphics, remember the 90s. And I just, grabbed pictures of pop stars from the 90s and movies from the 90s. So that would just scroll through for, again, 20, 30 seconds, and then it would go back. So that's why people aren't just looking at my goofy face the whole time. But if they are paying attention, there's a mix of visuals that they
You're handsome, but not that handsome.
Nobody wants to look at me for that long.
Me neither.
It's funny. John De Palma took a picture of me yesterday on the boat, and it's really far away. I don't know if this is so stupid, but I'm holding it up to the, but he's like, "Oh, you're too far." And I was like, "Yeah, but what was that saying? Remember that saying? I know it's an insult for a woman, but she's good from far and far from good." I said that about myself. I said, "John, believe me, I'm good from far and far from good." So I'll take, nobody wants to look at me for that long.
Man,
I think those are those the only tips that I have? One other tip.
Yeah.
You can record your set and then upload it later to so I've been doing that as well. Now, not everyone. Sometimes I record it, I go back, maybe I talk too much, maybe I had a couple clunkers. I'm not going to put that out there. But yeah, a few of my live streams have then become Mixcloud content. So if you're going to spend the time, especially if you're spending an hour putting a theme together and curating music that's going to, why not record it? And if you're happy with it, upload it to one of these services. So there can be a 2-for-1 here. Utilize your time.
Absolutely. I agree with all those, man. And again, I've made some videos inside the vault, another shameless plug. I had Jeff Scott Gould do a really good video on using Ecamm, which Mike says he uses OBS. I've used OBS and Ecamm throughout this live streaming process. So that's in the vault as well. Obviously we don't have time to talk about everything today, but I just wanted to kind of go over, some advantages of doing it, some of the technology, and then some of the just key things. And again, good internet, good music, and good solid connection, like good audio.
Yeah, and you said to anyone who's not doing it yet, it's not too late. It is not. It's not too late because, clearly I thought in the beginning of this thing we would be out of it by now, but clearly we're not out of it by now. So if you start up a live stream now, you could be doing it for 3 months before you're back to doing events, or maybe even more. Hopefully not. But if it don't feel like, oh, Joe started in March, I started in April. Yeah, my first one, if you remember, was my birthday. I did that Prince set on my birthday. So that was April 19th. So that's when I started. And I think I've done pretty much weekly since then. But that doesn't mean, don't hear that and go, oh, I should have started back then. Just start now.
Yeah, do it. We want to see them. Let us know what your channels are.
Yeah, you know what? Tag me when you're going live. If I'm free, I even wrote about this in the Disc Jockey News. One of my articles the last couple months, I talked about it. There have been a number of times, especially early in this, when I was just, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was frazzled and I was down from all the postponements. And I would see like, oh, Frank Garcia, my friend Frank from Queens is going live. Let me tune in. Or Jason Janai is going live. Or Chris Hintz. I was tuning into Chris. Yeah. I think didn't Chris do like daily for a while?
He was doing like 5 o'clock every day.
Yeah, and I was tuning
Romero too.
Yeah, right. And I not every day, but there's like if I happen to catch the notification at a moment where I tune in, and there was plenty, and that was my point of the article. It was a reminder how music can change moods, because there were multiple times where I was like, I was either angry, or sad, and I got picked up a little bit. And it was just a great reminder to me that music can sometimes instantly change your moods.
I love it.
Yeah, tag me and Joe, and if we're free, we'll definitely tune in.
We want to watch.
Yep.
Again, join the PHDJ podcast discussion group. Thanks as always for listening. Anything else, Mike?
I think this is great, Joe. No,
good stuff, man. Thanks,
guys. I will do my best to balance this one so our voices sound congruent.
Congruent, great word.
What's the word I love? Copacetic. So our voices sound copacetic. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.